How's it going? I'm Brandon Lee. I'm in Seoul, Korea right now, and I am at Gwangjang Market. This is a traditional local market here. I'm going to show you some of my shooting process of how I capture this stuff on camera. All right, going to start with some wide shots now. Got my camera mounted on my usual gimbal. Right now, this is the Moza Aircross gimbal on a monopod of no particular distinction, slick monopod 350 if you care. The camera is the A7R III by Sony, and I've got a 16-35 lens. This is a pretty standard setup that I usually use for most of my gimbal shooting. Very lightweight, and it lets me get a variety of angles. Any angle I can think of, I can get with this setup without having to change lenses or remount the camera. Low to really high. Okay, first I'm just gonna find a good angle for a wide shot. Right here we've got two different paths that converge, and with my wide angle lens, it's gonna exaggerate that sort of triangular look. Shooting at f11 because it's pretty bright in here, and there's no reason for me to try to get shallow focus. It's better to have everything in focus than nothing. Setting my shutter at 1/40th of a second because these lights that they have tend to flicker a bit. I found that 1/40th of a second reduces the flicker. Okay, locking off my gimbal to preserve my framing. Okay, let's hope I don't piss anybody off. Now I'm gonna get some overhead shots looking straight down on the people's food. I've got the camera pointed down like that. Opening up the app here, and I have it set to automatically connect with my camera. So this is gonna help me preview my shot when the camera is overhead. Sometimes it breaks up if you don't have a great Wi-Fi connection, but usually it's good enough that I can basically gauge my framing. So I'm gonna look at this to get my framing. I do something called the smile test when I'm filming strangers. I make eye contact with them as they notice me, and then I just smile a little bit, and I see if they smile back. If they smile back, that's usually a tacit sort of agreement that it's cool for me to film. If they don't smile, if they do this, if they give me any sort of an indication that they don't want me to film them, then I put the camera down and I don't film that person. So the smile test is a good way to very quickly gauge if your subject is okay with the camera. Time to go handheld. I've gotten a good amount of shots on the gimbal, so I want to get a few that are up close with a wide lens. It's really dynamic when you have that wide angle perspective. It's a different look than if you're just zooming in from far away. It's a lot more visceral. So that's what I'm going to try to capture. That's going to require me to get the vendors to comply with the camera. So I'm going to make sure it's okay with them, you know, that I film, and then I'm going to go ahead and get my shot. I'm trying to capture when the vendor hands over some food or takes money. Basically, that moment where there's an exchange between the customer and the vendor. If that moment's not happening, I don't need to be filming. If you notice, a lot of the time I have the camera pointed down so that I don't irritate people by filming them for too long. I just wait for specific moments that I know I want, and then I capture those moments when they happen. Now I'm gonna go to the 55 f1.8 Sony lens because I wanna get some close-ups of people's faces, but I don't wanna be super intrusive with the camera. With the wide-angle lens, with the 16 to 35, in order to get a close-up, I would have to be inches from their face, which is not only annoying to them, but would be a little too unflattering on camera. Okay, that was a fun shoot. So I hope you got some good pointers for how to capture local flavor when you're traveling or even in your own hometown. So get out there, shoot something, have fun, and I will see you next time.